This is Vicki from Learning Home Volunteers, and welcome to our new learning session on our five senses: seeing, hearing, smelling, tasting, and touching. Our senses help us understand the world around us, and in our session, we're going to explore each sense with a set of activities. In the office, we had a great time all doing all the activities, and we hope you and your learner do too. So let's get started. We have four books in this session. Our first book, My Five Senses, is a simple explanation of the five senses. What is hearing? What is tasting? Why do we have these senses? The next book is a delight. It's called The Blind Men and the Elephant, and it's about three blind men each touching an elephant and describing it. The animal is so big that they can only touch one part of the animal, making it sound like they're not talking about the same animal at all. In this next book, Say Zoop, it is so fun. Do you remember our mix up book? Well, this is written by the same writer. This time we get to make sounds based on the dots we see. Are you ready to help Nicole read this book? Our last book, Senses, is a more scientific explanation of our senses and how they work together and apart. So let's take a look at the first activity. This is activity number one: texture boards. Our volunteers have created a variety of textures for your child to explore with their touch. Although our learners may have felt many of the different types of textures before, most will lack the vocabulary to describe the texture. So help them out by adding words to describe it: fuzzy, hard, fluffy, gritty, lumpy, squishy, rough, slimy, rubbery, smooth, hairy, soft, stretchy. And in the board, we provide the touch is done with the hands, but it's also fun to do a texture walk, which you could build outside by using different objects for them to walk on. Here we see little squares of different textures: some rocks, some flannel, some balls, or an outside version where they've got grass and sticks and rocks of different sizes and moss and cobblestones and sand and pine cones and more. Boy, that must be fun. Well, I can't wait to see how you guys choose to experience texture and whether you guys add some special stuff in there for your child to explore. Activity number two: mystery bag. In your box, you'll find a paper bag to use as a mystery bag. The idea of the mystery bags is as the objects are put in the bag with the child's eyes closed or the child blindfolded. And then they reach in the bag and have to first describe what the object feels like to them using their new vocabulary about texture and so forth and shape. And then these objects that are inside should be objects that they're familiar with. So here's a sample contents. You can see we've got a brush and a spoon and a ring, or maybe it's a set of toys, pine cones, blocks, cars, or maybe they're food items or toys. Don't forget to let them choose the items and put them in a bag and let you get to take a shot at actually guessing. Should be fun. Activity number three is touch tracing. And our first touch tracing is a little game that normally we play with babies using their toes. And this one is called This Little Piggy. And let's see this mom and her son play this little piggy game. Well, that looks fun. Our next touching game is a game that can be done to yourself or can do the motions on your child's body. In your box, you're going to find the words to all of these so that you can do them with your child as well. This one is called Slowly, Slowly, and let's take a look. That was fun. The last one that we're going to look at is actually one called Break an Egg. It's normally done on the back of your child's body. And if it's done right, they get goosebumps, which is really kind of fun. So let's take a look at this on our little bear here. How fun is that? They'll be able to do that, and this is get done in school all the time. Well, we hope you enjoyed this week's touching activities, and we'll see you again next week.